I found meaning behind it. Guys, how you doing? This is Isaac the Nice Shirt Anderson.
I am Tyler Keene.
You're just not going to do anything in the middle?
I've done everything on my shirts and clothes. I wear the same shirts.
Okay.
I've done every nickname
I do too.
shirts.
It's okay. And this is a movie show where we talk about movie news.
Movie reviews.
And every single thing in between. Tyler, how you been, man? Did you have a good 4th of July?
I did have a good 4th of July. I think Stranger Things come on, so I watched Stranger Things while the rain spoiled all the fireworks.
Yeah, and we definitely will not spoil Stranger Things in this episode because I believe the man behind
Jughead's mom is still alive.
And love conquers all at the very end.
Yes.
But we hope you guys enjoyed your break that you had during the July 4th episodes not being around. But we're back now, so they probably didn't enjoy it if we didn't have a Big Bang Cinema. That's a bad thing. And thank you for waiting. How about that? Because a lot of things happen over the break. And time to go right in the movie news and talk a little bit about it.
Yep.
This is probably the biggest one. I decided to go with this first because everyone seems to be talking about this. Everyone seems to have an opinion on this. So,
I have opinion on this too.
Okay, so The Little Mermaid just cast their Ariel, and it's this lady. Her name is Haley Bailey, I think. Bailey, I think.
I think it's Haley Bailey.
It's Haley Bailey. Yeah, I have that in my notes. Haley Bailey got cast as Ariel, and obviously she's a little different because she doesn't have red hair. I mean, that's mostly why people are upset.
See, what I also heard about this is that they did testing with redheads, and they found that most gingers make people sick on screen.
Yeah.
So that's what I've heard. So they
It's
decided
the lack of soul in the ginger.
It's the wet, the pale, pasty skin.
Yeah, it
makes people uncomfortable.
I don't understand how hair length could qualify you not liking somebody. I mean, they look just alike.
Yes, they have souls.
Besides, she can grow her hair out. I mean, that's no problem.
Yes.
And she can also color her hair. I don't understand what the issue is. Okay, I might as well drop the charade. Obviously, Ariel from 1987 is not a black woman. So
what I've heard about is a lot of people up in arms. They're calling it cultural appropriation.
Why would it be cultural appropriation? Does the sea have a culture?
Well, they're saying that it's appropriating Danish culture.
Well, I mean, like I just took this as like just fake mythology, I guess.
Because it's a Danish story.
Yeah, I know it's a Danish story. I mean,
it's kind of somebody compared it like having Ethan Hawke playing the Black Panther.
That I've seen a lot of things. I've also seen like Ryan Gosling play Martin Luther King Jr. and stuff like that. I've seen that kind of stuff.
Or Terry Crews playing Pocahontas.
Yeah, I mean like.
Which I would watch that.
Ariel's not like really a sacred character to begin with. I mean, like she's not like, if you were to make a movie about, let's say, Nelson Mandela and then cast, I don't know.
Liam Neeson.
Like Liam Neeson, yeah.
Actually, that would be pretty bad. I would like to watch that.
I think he could pull it off, to be honest.
He could probably pull it off. He could do a Robert Downey Jr. pull it off.
I think so too. But as far as this casting goes, I mean, first off, I don't really care if Ariel's a different color than what she was in the cartoon.
Well, personally, for me, I don't care because I've written all of Disney's live action movies off after Aladdin. I'm done with them.
Yeah, at least they had an appropriate cast for that. I mean, that was a big thing. People were saying, like, oh, they don't whitewash this whole thing.
See, but what's the point? What if they make a live action, was it Brave film, and they have, they cast, I don't know, would be Gina Rodriguez to play.
Yeah, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But I took this as kind of like, this is like a crazy realization. Maybe she was the best person for the role, and they chose her regardless. Maybe that's it. I know. That's like the craziest thought. I know that can't, but most likely, I don't know what the cause was. Part of it might have been a little bit like the politics involved with it. Part of it might have been she was good for the role.
So, because I know there was a big fan page. They wanted Bella Thorne to play Ariel, but a lot of people don't know this, but Bella Thorne is a horrible actress.
And I think she's kind
terrible.
of, she's sort of nice looking. I think she's kind of she's a party girl, and I can't see her as that character really. I don't know. Maybe she can transcend, but she was on a Disney show a long time ago. She was on a show Shake It Up with Zendaya back when she was like 14 or 15.
Wow, I'm surprised you know this.
I mean, it was like 10 years ago, I think, or like it was around 8 or 10 years ago. I remember seeing it. It was right at the edge of like me not watching Disney Channel anymore.
I was 20 at this point.
Yeah, I'm a little younger than you. You're like 47. So,
yes, I am actually. I was in the war, the big one.
Final thoughts on this. I think that I don't care about this. I haven't heard the girl sing. I imagine this is probably a good choice for Disney. It's something a little different, which is fine. Also, I think we should mention that people want now Guy Fieri as Ursula and Terry Crews as Triton. I think we have a photo of this. I want to see Ursula take Ariel to Flavortown.
I want to watch this. I'm not lying. Like, if they do this, I will be there opening night to watch Guy Fieri as Ursula the Sea Witch. I would very much enjoy this.
Yeah, I just want to see Ursula try out like really weird
Like-
diners for 2 hours.
Like he gets that spear, just about to kill Ariel and King Triton. He goes, one last trip to Flavortown. Just like stabs them. I'm like, yeah. And then like Terry Crews the whole time. The whole time he's just making peck and muscle jokes.
See, I like this.
Yeah,
But,
I've enjoyed this.
Most
too.
likely Disney just did this because people that support this kind of thing or people that are going to be kind of against it and want to see like a traditional Ariel like they saw in the cartoon are both going to see it either out of support or out of like, yeah, I hate this to see how bad it is. And they're going to make a ton of money.
Jermaine
This is actually a great move on their part because it got people interested because I didn't even really know there was going to be a live action Little Mermaid until this happened.
Jermaine Clement as Sebastian.
Jermaine Clement should be in everything.
He should be. He's a delightful character.
Well, speaking about a delight, let's get down to business.
To defeat the Huns, apparently.
And what are we talking about?
Mulan.
That's right. So there's going to be another Disney live-action reboot, and it's Mulan. And apparently, this is going to be a little bit more of a serious adaptation. I think we have a trailer for that right now. This is the woman that's playing Mulan.
See, I just want to understand, like, why did they cast her as Mulan? Which I really think that they could have done a more inclusive casting.
Like how so?
Like I'm saying, like have a person, a POC to play Mulan.
Piece of crap?
No, a person of color. Like,
Oh, okay.
Because as you know, Asians are overrepresented in Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely. So overrepresentation.
I think they should have gone with
that wasn't
like a
words.
different route. Like I don't know, like casts.
Well, people have been saying Samuel L. Jackson should play Mulan. And I saw a fan art cover. That looked pretty wonderful.
That I would watch that. That is very inclusive, and I want him to say the MF in Cantonese or Mandarin.
Mufu.
I would love to. I'd love to hear that. I mean, I feel like that's.
Sorry
a big,
for all our Chinese audiences that think if Mufu means something bad in your language. I'm sorry. FCC still works.
Yes.
But what did you think about the trailer? Did you watch the trailer?
I did watch the trailer. I remember it was just talking about how she's going to make a great wife.
Apparently her family wants to marry her off to some random guy, and she just wants to fight for her country against the Huns.
Where's Mushu at?
Well, that's another big thing. Mushu apparently isn't in this movie.
Mushu needs to be in the film.
Now, I've heard from different people. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've heard that Mushu's not in it because this is more a traditional story. This is actually based on a real story, and I guess they're trying to fix it more towards the actual story and try to make it more real and like realistic.
But Mushu was the hilarious part of Mulan.
You know, I mean, who would play Mushu if they did it now?
The new Eddie Murphy.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
I think
Yes,
we mentioned that a little bit before.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
I'm
I'm a little dragon. Look at me. I'm a little tiny dragon. I'm like this big. Look at me. See,
Let me tell you what, Mulan, these Huns, they be crazy, okay?
They're crazy.
Okay, sorry for all the people that just had to witness that.
Well,
Yeah, but Kevin Hart should have played Mulan. That would have been great. But as far as this movie goes, I mean, like you said, these Disney live-action reboots have been mostly just kind of like food at Chili's, like I always say. It's pretty bland and pretty safe.
see, this is going to be bland. They should have diversified the cast. Like, the Emperor, I heard this be played by Jet Li. They could have gone a whole different route with that. Like, I would say Octavia Spencer could have been the Japanese emperor. I don't have a doubt for that. She's got rings. She's got an Academy Award under her belt.
She could pull it off.
And it's diversity. It's diversity.
I mean, if John Wayne could play Genghis Khan, I think that's pretty...
Absolutely. I think Octavia Spencer could.
Well, John Wayne did get cancer after that, so maybe that was God's way of saying don't do that.
Don't do that.
And they shot it on like a nuclear testing facility.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Speaking
A lot
about
of people
nuclear
know that.
testing facilities and giving people cancer, James Wan is apparently making a Mortal Kombat movie that's only going to be produced by him, not directed by him. It's being directed by the guy that directed Assassin's Creed.
So my big question is, why reboot this series?
Money.
Well, I mean, it was a failed series to start with. See, I think the sequel was only in theaters for like a week. They had to pull it because people were getting brain cancer from watching the movie.
It had the John Wayne effect, except just watching the movie, you got radiation from it.
Well, the first was giving people scabies, and they just like paid everybody off.
Yeah,
on that
it's
part.
just like like getting scabs and just like Probably got it somewhere. I mean,
that's not scabies.
well, I mean, what
Scabies are skin parasites.
oh, well,
Yeah.
Either way, it's an inconvenience.
There.
But what do you think about them rebooting Mortal Kombat?
I say let it die, let it go away.
You want them to finish them and have a fatality?
No, I want to say get rid of it. I want to say bury this where you found it.
Okay.
Let it go.
Well, how about this? This might change your mind. This guy, one of the guys from the Raid, is going to be playing Sub-Zero.
Okay, here's the thing though. You can't really get a story out of this because there's not really barely a story in it to begin with.
I disagree a little bit. I don't know.
A martial arts tournament.
Well, it's a martial arts tournament against the Earth Realm and like this other thing that whatever it's called. I don't know. I haven't played the games in a long time.
What if they throw Batman in it?
That's a glitch in the game. But I like some of the stuff. Machinima came out with like a short series. Like the characters in and of themselves have a really kind of cool, rich backstory that I dig. I mean, Johnny Cage is like a stunt man, and he gets roped into this somehow. You know, something that's like the police officer characters. You know, you got Sub-Zero and Scorpion that are part of like the clan that basically wants to turn all their people into robots and whatnot.
I mean, it's the storyline behind Dragon Ball Super.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't watch Dragon Ball Super. Are you being for real, or are you just trying to make like a bad comparison?
It's a tournament from different people, the best fighters from different universes fighting each other, and if they lose, their universe is destroyed.
Okay, well, I mean, see, I guess they can make a pretty interesting movie about that. Granted, the one of the '90s sucks, but
both of them suck.
I like the Machinima one quite a lot, and James Wan being behind this. I don't know how I feel about the guy that directed Assassin's Creed directing it, because everybody knows what a hit that Assassin's Creed movie. Fantastic. Did it even happen? It hasn't even come out yet? Yeah, it came out like 4 years ago. Yeah, that's quality work.
Did I watch that?
That's one of those movies that like it's on FX every other weekend. Your dad watched it and like, that was a good movie.
I think James McAvoy was in it. I want to say him and Angelina Jolie were in it.
Oh, you talking about, what was it, Wanted?
You Wanted? Yeah.
Is it the one where they curved the bullets?
Yeah. They curved the bullets.
It's like one of those movies.
And they're fighting in like the medieval times in Spain. They're shooting bullets. And
what are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about Assassin's Creed.
I thought and you went from like Assassin's Creed to like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I feel like.
Yeah, because they get in the phone booth, go back in time to like 13th century Spain, and they're like.
Anyway. I'd be interested to see where they would go with this. If they keep kind of the richness of the backstories of all this kind of thing and still have fun with the concept, I'm very excited to see what exactly they're going to do with it. James Wan has a good track record. Any final thoughts on this before we move on?
Bury it.
Bury it. Hearn, speaking about burying something that shouldn't come back up, The Big Lebowski is apparently getting a spin-off/sequel called The Jesus Roll.
Ask somebody under 18 who Lebowski is, and they will ask you if he's a basketball player.
Well, I'm younger than you. I know what The Big Lebowski is. I mean, but also I'm like a movie guy. I like that.
And you're a Coen's brother fan.
Yeah.
Like what'd you say before about Coen's movies?
Coen Brothers movies are very much people that like films and like filmmakers, especially that are into how movies are made and like direction and all that, performances. That's the Coen Brothers. Like that stuff is just like they show that stuff in film classes so much. Mm-hmm. There's people that do like whole courses on Coen Brothers movies, and this movie is like one of the ones that are so loved by so many people. But like if you're not like a film person, The Big Lebowski probably doesn't like appeal to you whatsoever.
Or be a meme person.
Or like pretty much any Coen Brothers movies probably doesn't appeal to you if you're not like a film person.
Because the whole movie was a meme gold mine when somebody who makes memes finally saw the movie.
Yeah, so this next movie is going to focus around what's his name? Turturro, John Turturro. John Turturro's character, and also I don't know if you knew this, Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. He's going to be in it too. I think he's going to play his son. Do you like Pete Davidson?
I haven't seen Saturday Night Live since Adam Sandler was on it.
Wow, that was 70 years ago. Wow, that wasn't even that great of stuff. Except when Chris Farley, I guess.
But it was all. I mean, it's still not good. It's still downhill.
Yeah. Well, Pete Davidson's one of the youngest cast members. He's a little bit older than me, and apparently he's been dating like outrageously like beautiful women that are like out of his league. And I don't understand how, but good for him. But I like his comedy a lot. It's very. I think he would blend really well with this kind of tone. I don't know what role the Coens are going to take. It really hasn't got off the ground too much.
Is he the one that made fun of
Dan Crenshaw? Yeah.
He made fun of his eyeball.
Yeah, and apparently now he's dating Kate Beckinsale, who's like 27 years older than him.
What was
Good
it?
for you, buddy.
What was it? I can't remember. Was it a Snake Plissken joke or was it a solid snake joke?
I don't remember. I think he said something kind of disrespectful on that, and then he apologized, and they did something together. But that's beyond the point. But as far as the concept of them making a sequel to The Big Lebowski or a spinoff, how do you feel about that?
See, have they ever really done a sequel for one of their films before?
That's a good point. I don't know.
See,
I mean, they don't have like Raising Arizona 2, Electric Boogaloo, or anything like that.
No, I don't think so. See, what I can remember.
No Country for Old Men 2. He does it again.
Does,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the Coens have ever done a sequel.
I don't think they ever have. And, and their worst ones are not their original story, not their original ideas either.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish they would go more something to an original thing, but this is a fun character. Maybe the Coens will stick the landing. I don't know. They have very few like missteps. Maybe lady killers, but that's about it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about any of these topics that we talked about today. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. And let us know where you're watching at. We know people from Bristol, United Kingdom watch us, and we also know people from Uganda watch us because I look at the analytics and I tag you guys. Anyway, you can leave us a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. Thanks so much for watching so far. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man Far From Home right here at home. So stay with us.
You know,
Oh, Guy is not amused. Let's go to Flavortown.
Guy is not amused.
That's the only thing I know about him.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
Dolan has a baby.
Kate Beckinsale, her I see pictures of her extended family, and I think they stole her from the hospital as a child.
And you can take that as you will. Anyway, guys, I'm Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
Make sure you stay with us right now because we have some fun stuff talking about next, and it's going to be fun. Tyler, what are we going to review?
We're going to review the next installment of the MCU, the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, called Spider-Man Far From Home.
Because we don't do sequel numbers anymore because that stuff's so 2002.
See, I wonder what they call the third one. Like, it's going to have home in the title. I know that.
It's going to be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and his amazing homies. You think something like that?
No. We'll leave that to until they reboot it into the gangster version. Anyway, Tyler, what is Spider-Man Far From Home about?
About Spider-Man, and he's on vacation during Europe, far from home, and Mysterio is the villain.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. Tyler, what do you think about this movie?
I rather enjoyed it. I thought it blended elements together really well, and so I realized that
almost like a movie.
It wasn't too serious at parts. It wasn't too campy at parts. It wasn't too funny at parts. I thought it was just it was like this little median, where it was just enough of everything. I really enjoyed that, and I really feel like the whole. I thought the cinematography. I said about everything, but I thought the cinematography
was incredible.
It was really good.
Yeah,
I did see this movie. I did watch.
Yeah, you did. I was going to say, did you see this movie? Okay.
I did watch this movie.
You do say that cinematography was incredible, and they should win an Oscar. But I'm also kind of in the same camp. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought the concept of it was really neat. I thought the direction of it was definitely exactly what it needed to be. That's not Sam Raimi. I like all the performances and everything, and just the storyline in general is something that I don't think we've seen in a movie quite like this in a very long time. It did play into the typical tropes of the superhero movie, and we'll get into that real quick. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, and I really enjoyed where they took it. It was a lot of fun.
I really enjoy. I mean, I really like the twist ending that people who have never heard of Mysterio didn't know about.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to get into spoilers a little bit later, but right now let's keep it a surface level. Let's not spoil anything about this movie. So, As far as kind of the general story of this movie, what did you think of the story? Because I know you were a comic book guy, and we talked a little bit about Mysterio, and the trailers, he kind of looks like he's from another dimension and everything like that.
Spoilers, man. I love the problem. It's hard to say anything about like the story without actually involving spoilers.
Okay, let's try not to do spoilers right now, and then we'll get into spoilers, okay?
Okay, I thought they kept the essence of the characters really well. It's not the same character, but the essence was really well. I mean, the whole like the characteristics were really well done for the characters. That's all I can really say about it without spoiling anything.
Okay, what I really liked about the movie is the fact that they took him out of New York and actually did something different with them. When I first heard about like they were actually going to take him, like, oh, he's going to Europe, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a Sony nightmare where he's like going to be fighting like 16 different people at one time, and they could take him out of Europe, so like take him to Europe. Now he's fighting on like Big Ben and stuff, and he's supposed to be like doing all these crazy things and fighting these massive monsters, and it wasn't like that. Partly because Marvel had a hand in it and they know what they're doing, but at the same time, I was like, I still had reservations about that, but I was really happy about that because, you know, we say it so much. He's like, you know, Spider-Man's supposed to be like this friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He says it multiple times in the movie, and he's not supposed to be like this big, massive, like world
Street
destroyer.
Avengers.
Yeah, he's street level. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, he fights the Rhino, and you know, he tries to make it to prom on time. That's who Spider-Man is, and that's what makes him interesting. But this one has some bigger monsters and stuff. I was okay with it. I do like him dealing with like smaller threats though, and this one had sort of that.
See, I like that too. I like how this film, it felt like it was written as like a high school comedy almost, like a dramedy, but with superhero elements without being a superhero movie with high school elements thrown into it. That's what I really enjoyed about that. This movie was not about Spider-Man. This movie was about Peter Parker. And I really enjoyed that part about it. It was because, you know, the other ones we just have Spider-Man, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. There's Spider-Man. But this one, I really enjoyed that because
they just couldn't wait to get him in the suit.
Couldn't wait to get him in the suit. And this one, like, I really believe he was barely in the suit the entire movie.
Yeah, he was mostly just like even when he's like doing action scenes, he's still Peter.
See,
you know?
it reminded me of the Iron Man 3 to where, because what Shane Black did about the idea that you know superheroes only superhero when they're in their suit, and this part is kind of the whole summary was he's Spider-Man with or without the suit on, and I really enjoy that. And a lot of it's to give. He's naive in it, and it's about him experiencing what the real world is like.
Yeah, I guess we can get into spoilers right after this.
Gosh, finally, man.
I know. But John Watts is the director of this. John Watts, if you don't know who he is, he directed the last Spider-Man movie, and he was editor-in-chief of The Onion for a very long time. So he has a very good eye for comedy and this kind of stuff and satire. The school news show in this is just fantastic.
I love that.
And it's so accurate to how that is.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And I will always. I'm gonna stop singing that before we get pulled.
And I like the whole part of it where it's going through all the memoriam, and Tony Starkey's popping up in there. Like they got multiple pictures of Tony,
and they're all in wrong places, and like half of them are like small photos that they've sized up.
Yeah, and you got like the picture of like Black Widow, and it's like somebody shot from a camera like 400 yards away, and she's like this big, and they blew it up, and then you have all these
like the boom pole is like going in the shot all the time,
and then it's like glam shots of Tony Stark. I mean, I thought that was hilarious.
And they also explained a little bit of like, because I remember I asked this when after the Avengers came out. I'm like, how exactly does it work? Like, is he going back to high school? Like, it's been 5 years. Everybody in this class, like, how is everybody in this class still the same? And it kind of explained, you know, now that we're in spoilers, pretty much all the people that stayed age and all the other people stayed the same age. So like now, like, and then this part of the plot line, there's like this really, like there was a really young guy that grew up to be like a really handsome, like, high school student that'd be in Peter's grade that's now like kind of in a conflict with him and Mary Jane.
He was a little chess nerd from the first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. But I like that whole element, and they explained that pretty well. Let's talk about Mysterio before we end.
Actually, before we talk about Mysterio, Martin Starr.
Martin Starr is pretty great.
Hey, in this film, they explain.
JB Smoove too.
They were great, and really about Martin Starr's character kind of elites that people took advantage of this to do horrible things. And where his wife pretends that she was vaporized, but she ran away and got remarried. Like left him. His fiance got married, left him. They had a funeral for her and everything. And then she blipped back and found out the whole thing was just trying to.
No, little things like that.
That
That's
was
like
great.
the John Watts stuff. I like that.
It's great.
So Mysterio, real quick, because we're running out of time.
Oh man.
I like the fact that Mysterio is not just a guy; he's like a group of disgruntled Stark employees.
I really like that, and it was like, and they actually showed like these characters from different movies, like where they're like working for Stark. Stark either fusses them out, or I think one of the scientists from the first one.
Yeah, the one that Jeff Bridges yells at.
And then I think like it was like callbacks, like the little holographic technology they had in Civil War, which it was like a plot that never went anywhere. Well, it was this Jake Gyllenhaal's technology.
Do you think that was planned out from the beginning?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
That was just something they pulled in?
I think that was but that was great.
Jake Gyllenhaal most certainly was not in the background of that shot.
To me, the whole thing that stared about the last one was like this is an out of place moment, and it was just like, okay, it fits in for Spider-Man. I loved it.
That was pretty clever. I thought it was really interesting, the fact that he was trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, and basically it's like one big joke and middle finger to everybody.
See, and a lot of it is these people were not treated nicely by Tony Stark. Tony Stark was not nice to these people.
Yeah. The only thing that was a little questionable about, like, why do they want Spider-Man to be the next Iron Man? Like, he doesn't belong as Iron Man. Like, he's not capable of being another Iron Man.
He even says, I'm not. They even tell him, you're not the next Iron Man, because he said, I can't be the next Iron Man. He goes, no one can be the next Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I that one always felt like, why do they want him to be the next Iron Man? Why does he need to be the next Iron Man? You know, did anybody know he was under Iron Man like that? Like, besides us as the audience? Like, that was the only thing. I mean, that was a very minor thing. And also, I like Happy and Aunt May's relationship. I thought that was really nice.
And Happy's really confused about it.
I like the fact that Happy stayed from like the beginning of the universe, like the Marvel universe, and he was Tony Stark's kind of right-hand man, and now he's kind of like the father figure of Peter.
And he could be the actual, I don't know, you can never really.
He's not the biological father.
But he could be his new uncle, you know.
Oh yeah, I like that whole thing. Anyway, I enjoyed the movie a lot. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it, and I really, really enjoyed the where it was built up like it was going to be superhero tropes, and they just subverted all of that.
Yeah, I really liked it. The direction was really good. John Watts, I hope you stay on until the next one. But anyway, guys, next week we're actually not going to do a movie review because there's nothing really huge coming out, but I might see The Art of Self-Defense. Might talk about that a little bit. Who knows? But anyway,
We might have a fun segment.
Yeah, we're going to have a really fun segment. We don't know what it is quite yet, but let us know in the comments whatever you want us to do. Maybe we'll do it. Leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say about anything. Did you guys see Spider-Man Far From Home? Just let us know. We really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Stay lovely. See you next week.